celebrations, the supermarket checkout line, or paying a bill or taxes on time. Our fast, secure debit network provides reliable service so you can always depend on Multilink. Jamaican and proud, fast, secure, everywhere.
Good afternoon. 23 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Ricardo Brooks. Good afternoon, Sir Cliff.
Good afternoon, Ricardo.
How are you?
I'm good. Well, let's get to our cover story. And all this week, it will be the Bluedot, the NNN Bluedot polls, powered by Total Tools. We are unveiling the results for you. The Bluedot data scientists went into the field in Jamaica between September 6 and 19. Yes, September 6 and 19. Remember, the poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. And we started unveiling the results this morning. We have another set to tell you this evening. A small majority of Jamaicans, nearly 52%, say the Holness administration deserves a third term in office. And we have the details from Ricardo Brooks.
The Holness administration and its admirers have been adamant that a third term in government is imminent. In fact, they say it's loading. If Jamaicans had a say today, it appears the JLP's hopes would be affirmed at the ballot box. When the Bluedot posters asked 1,246 Jamaicans whether they think the Holness administration deserves a third term in office, the answer was yes. Nearly 52% of respondents said yes. 48% said no. That's a 4 percentage point majority, which is just outside the 3% margin of error. Also of note is the fact that those who believe the government deserves a third term have increased by 5 percentage points since February this year. So what's driving this shift towards an unprecedented third term for the JLP? Well, women are playing an active role. Female voters continue to power the Labour Party's fortunes in these polls, with 54% of them saying Prime Minister Andrew Holness should lead Jamaica beyond 2025. On the flip side, 46% of women voters want Holness and his government gone. This is compared to the evenly divided sentiment among men, with 50% saying no to a third term and an equal number of 50% saying yes. If there's any reason for the JLP to pause and take stock of these numbers, it's that 52% of unaffiliated Jamaicans do not believe the party should be returned to power. That's compared to the 48% of unaffiliated voters who say yes. That's a 4 percentage point gap. Labourites continue to break heavily in favor of a third term, with 89% saying their party deserves to remain at the helm. 83% of comrades say no.
The nationwide Bluedot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
Ricardo Brooks for Nationwide News. With us now to offer perspectives, public commentator Dr. Nadine Spence, social commentator Suel Anglin, and public commentator Deacon Peter Espute. Just before we get to our guests, we should tell the listeners as well, Cliff, that the governing JLP in this data set has its strongest support for a third term among voters 65 years and older, with 56% indicating the party deserves a third term in office. Now, of course, that finding is notable. It jumps out because the opposition People's National Party, they usually register strong support among this demographic. The age group 55 to 64 years old, that's evenly divided, 50-50, on the question of whether the JLP deserves a third term.
It's a similar evenly divide among those 45 to 54 years old. 55% of voters 35 to 44 years old want to see the Holness administration returned for a third term. 45% don't.
Among voters 25 to 34 years old, 51%, they are in favor of a third term, while 49% say no. Young voters, 18 to 24 years old, they also break in favor of the JLP. 54% of them support a third term, while 46% are saying no.
And just let me tell you the trends that the poll has picked up since February this year, when this question was asked about the government, whether it deserves a third term. At that time, February this year, only 47% said yes, 53% said no. In September 2023 last year, yes, only 43% said yes then. No was at 57%. To where we are now, September 24, 52% saying yes, 48% saying no.
Dr. Nadine Spence, Sewell Anglin, Deacon Espute, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, colleagues.
I want to start with you, Dr. Spence, because this finding that voters over 60, over 65, are breaking in favor of the JLP. I'm wondering how much of that you would attribute to what we heard in the budget debate, because there are quite a few proposals advanced by the finance minister that were targeted at the elderly, and I wondered if you thought that might be having an effect on these numbers.
When you put it, I thought of that. I thought, in respect of policies and the kinds of tangible results that I think those older voters who might have opined about their preference would inspire them to vote for the government. I thought of that. And I also thought of the fact that older people, I think, are less likely to change as readily as younger people. So those were the two things I thought about. I wondered if it was a factor of what people perceive to be a government that, at least in its last budget debate, the last budget debate seemed to be favoring the elderly. I think it's not just that too. I think matters related to pension. Mm-hmm. Perhaps those people who are, if this is the age group that is near a pension, the age of collecting their pension or relying on their pension. Right. I think some of the government's policies related to pensions have also been favorable for those people. So I think those are some of the factors that might be influencing people's perceptions of the government.
Certainly there was an increase in the NIS pensions, but we're up on the break. Hold it there for us. We're speaking to Dr. Nadine Spence, Sewell Anglin, and Deacon Peter Espute.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
5:45.
Upgrade your kitchen and bathroom to the next level with Unique Living. They're the ultimate destination for all your kitchen and bathroom needs. From luxurious shower systems to exquisite faucets, vanities, sinks, toilets, closets, and more. They have it all. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10, or call them at 876-755-3661. Elevate your space with Unique Living, where quality meets expectations.
Azen Super Center in Midtown Crossroads, a place you've come to know and trust for quality and the best prices. Now, come see our expanded range of products, fine furnishings, kitchenware, your smart TVs, and all things electronics, and the latest in curtains, bed linen, and bathroom accessories. It's the new and expanded Azen Super Center in Midtown Crossroads with convenient, safe, and free parking. Shop with a smile at Azen Super Center.
Imagine opening a bank account without ever leaving your home. Well, at CIBC Caribbean, we've changed the game. Open a new CIBC savings or checking account completely online using your computer or phone, anywhere, anytime. No need to visit the bank, no waiting in line. Just apply, verify, and sign your documents, all online. It's secure, seamless, and 100% digital. Open your new CIBC account by applying online today.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Highway 2000 East West. The T-Tag system reduces the amount of cash handled at our toll plazas and makes it safer, for our staff and motorists at the toll booths. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted to only $1,500, including a $500 toll credit from now until September 30.
You want to play all your favorite Supreme Ventures games like Cashpot and Lotto in a one place? Plus bet on sports with Just Bet and horse racing with MBet? Come take a step in at the new SV Games app. All of the games you love in a one place. Step in and play all your numbers. Bet on all your sports and get enough chances to win in the only gaming app you need. SV Games from Supreme Ventures. Visit supremegames.com to download the SV Games app. More ways to bet, more ways to win at your fingertips. Must be 18 years or older to play.
Drive Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.9 beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
12 minutes going up to 6 o'clock. We're inside the nationwide cover story. We're looking at the latest Bluedot poll findings powered by Total Tools. The question all about whether the government deserves a third term. And a small majority, 52% saying yes, just outside the margin of error, 3% saying yes. We have with us Dr. Nadine Spence, Deacon Peter S. Pute, and public commentator Suel Anglin. So we heard from Dr. Spence. Let me hear from you, Deacon Peter, Deacon S. Pute. What do you make of these numbers?
Hi, Keith. Hi, Ricardo.
Hello, Deacon.
Thanks for asking me to comment. I really enjoy talking about statistics because it's something that I teach at university, and a lot of people don't really understand how to analyze statistics. I heard both of you say that the margin of error is that the data is outside the margin of error. That's not strictly true. The margin of error I'm gathering is 3%, plus or minus.
Yes.
So that's 52%. The real figure is not 52. The real figure is somewhere within a band of 52 plus 3 and 52 minus 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's somewhere between 55 and 49.
Uh-huh.
And then the no figure of 48 is somewhere between 48 plus 3 and 48 minus 3,
mm-hmm.
which is 51 and 46.
Mm-hmm.
So actually there's quite a bit of overlap there. And so statisticians will not say that it's outside the margin of error. Statisticians will say that it's within the margin of error, and that the data shows a statistical dead heat. And so, but what we like to do is to look at the trend. You gave the trend data, and the data for September last year is definitely outside the margin of error, and shows people thinking that the government is going in the wrong direction. The February this year data shows that the gap is narrowing. Still, yes, statistically significant that the government is going in the wrong direction. But this September 24 data is within the margin of error and therefore is a statistical dead heat. But what the data shows is that the gap is narrowing. So we should expect the next poll that Bluedot does will show, in fact, that the people think that the government is going in the right direction. And
No. Hold on, Peter. We're not talking about wrong or right direction now. We're talking about whether they deserve a third term or not.
Yes.
Not to be confused with...
A poll is a snapshot.
Yes.
And it's a moving target. And I'm trying to show the direction in which it is moving.
Yes,
the direction in which it is moving.
But hold on. Don't confuse.
In favor of the JLP.
Hold on, just a moment. Don't confuse. The question we unveiled the results earlier this morning was in relation to whether the country was going in the right direction or the wrong direction.
Yes.
Yes? This question has to do with whether they deserve or not a third term.
I'm sorry, Cliff, I misspoke.
Yes.
I was, in fact, speaking about whether they deserve a third term.
And you're saying you believe...
Because I did hear the program this morning and enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I misspoke.
So you're saying you believe, based on what you've seen, that the trend is in their favor?
I'm saying that the statistics show that, without a shadow of a doubt. That a year ago in September, the majority said wrong direction.
57.
In February, a smaller majority said wrong direction. But this poll that is being revealed today is a statistical dead heat.
Right. So
I'm saying that the direction of the data is towards the JLP, but it's not there yet. This data, I'm saying, is within the margin of error, and therefore we have to say it's a statistical dead heat.
And what do you think accounts for that trend in the government's favor?
That now is beyond the statistician's ken. That is within the realm of the political scientist and the political analyst. I don't claim to be that, but if you want me to give a stab, I think that, to say, I would have to be guessing, I don't believe that the PNP has shown themselves to be a strong alternative. In my columns over the last year or two, I've been saying to the PNP, if you want people to vote for you, as opposed to voting against the JLP, you have to give people something to vote for. You have to say what you stand for people to vote for you. If you don't do that, then what you're doing is you're expecting people to just wait for the JLP to implode and to vote against the JLP. And I don't think even after the conference that the PNP has given the electorate adequate stuff to vote for.
And it's interesting you say that, Deacon, because that's where I want to pick up with Suel, because a lot of what happened at the conference was overshadowed by the appearance of Mr. Palmer. But if you could just cast your mind back, Suel, to that hour-long presentation from the leader of the opposition, I suppose the question to you is, do you think he at least started the process of trying to differentiate the People's National Party from the ruling Jamaica Labour Party?
Hi everyone. Ricardo, I think I would say they started. I don't think that they had any new exciting ideas that kind of wowed us. I think a lot of the things that they say are either trying to improve on current things that we have, or maybe to bolster what we currently have happening now. So I wouldn't say that they had anything new that kind of blew us away, but I think they were kind of getting somewhere. And I think just like what you said, all of that was overshadowed by the appearance of Vybz Kartel. So, if you look on social media after, everybody wasn't talking about anything that was said. Nobody could remember anything of substance that was, said or done throughout the conference. Everybody was talking about the presence of Vybz Kartel. And I think where the PNP continues to go wrong is that sometimes they have a little bit of substance and they're heading in the right direction, or they have the good foot forward. But somehow I think they almost seem as if they're more interested in being popular and kind of having the word bite of the day, and I think that gets overshadowed by any ounce of effort that they're putting in. And we saw it at a lot of the public stagings that they have had in recent times. Even if what they present are something of substance or something, it gets overshadowed by them trying to be popular within this public space. And I think that is where they continue to go wrong. It makes the party seem as if there's no substance. It makes the party seem like they are more about gimmicks and less about substance. And I think young people are starting to pick up on that. And I think what the JLP has started to do well is that they have started to improve their communication. And I think having Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon has been a very good addition. And when you look on social media, she is very up to date. She's letting people know what's happening in the party. She's letting them know what to do.
Sorry, we're losing you, Suel. Repeat that.
No, I'm saying, sorry, I think because I was driving. I'm saying that what the JLP has been doing very good is the addition of Senator Dr. Dana Dixon. She, if you look across social media, she has been keeping the public very abreast of what's happening, the new policies, how people can participate, how they can get their voice involved. And I think people are becoming very aware of a lot of things that we weren't aware of maybe like a few months ago with the JLP. So the JLP has started to improve their communication. Their narrative is very steady with what the party is doing. And I think the PNP continues to put gimmick over substance. And I think people are beginning to realize that.
Nadine Spence, I want you to weigh in for me on the gender divide. Women breaking more for the JLP than men do. For example, the pollsters write, a modest variation in gender-based perceptions regarding whether the JLP deserves a third term. In September 24, female respondents showed more support, with 54% responding yes. And Peter, you're the statistical lecturer. That's outside the margin of error now. At 54%. Yes. While for men, 50-50.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, Nadine Spence, why do you think more women are breaking for the JLP than men on this issue?
And I think of two things, Chris. About 8 years or so ago, perhaps 6, unemployment among women was very high, was double that of men. And since the JLP government, what has happened is that as we see the unemployment rate trending down, what we've seen is a rise in employment for women. That's one. So I think women feel better about the government in respect of their employability and their employment statistics. That's one. The second thing is globally, women are participating more in politics and are voting more, and they're also more in support of the parties in power.
Mm.
So, and I think post-COVID, we're seeing women more decided in respect of issues that I wish in Jamaica we would break down to see what are the issues. We usually talk about a woman's political agenda. What are the issues on a woman's political agenda?
And anecdotally, Dr. Spence, the women say the Prime Minister look good. They say it all the time, all across social media. The women I know in my life say the same thing.
That is the third thing I was going to say. I was going to say on a matter of just sheer good looks. If you remember, there was a conversation that was in the public already about who looked better and who dressed better and who women felt that their looks alone would cause them to vote, and it was Andrew Holness. And so women also vote for the contestant who they think is more attractive. So attractiveness is also a part of it. So that could be one of the explanations as to why women are indicating that they would prefer to vote for the Prime Minister as a...
Let me hear Suel Anglin on this. Suel, let me hear you on this. What do you think? Is that a factor?
Yeah, I mean, I share a lot of the sentiments from Dr. Spence, particularly around the employment increase in women. And I think also outside of his looks, I mean, I think that is an art that we have been talking about for a while in the public space, and I think that is something that people have known. I'm not sure if that is still playing an active role right now with how people are seeing him. I think that's kind of wear off. I think people have seen him grow into this kind of man that you look at and you feel confident to say, okay, he can make decisions, and he can do things that you can rest assured and say, okay, I can have my life in this man's hands, and I know that he's doing the best for me. I think people have been seeing that over the years, and I think we are comfortable and okay with that now. But I think what Dr. Spence said, which I think is very important, is that women are paying very close attention to politics now. Like, people are actively listening to what is being said on the radio. People are looking at what is on social media. People are reading more. And so I think people have an active interest in seeing where the country is going, what is happening, what is, the development. And I think women are increasingly taking more interest in what is happening in the country, how is it benefiting me. If I should have children, how would that then benefit me? Am I able to have children in this economy? How does that look? And I think women are making active decisions for themselves now, so I think that plays a big role in this too.
Deacon Espute, I'm going to give you the last word. Younger voters, according to the data scientists, are also, a majority saying that the government deserves a third term. Final comment from you.
The data that I saw showed that the youngest band of voters did that, but the second youngest did not. They were in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think this data needs much more interrogation, Cliff. I wish I had the statistics actually on my computer that I could do my own cross-tabulation. For example, I really enjoyed the program this morning where the majority said that they thought the government was going in the wrong direction. How can they say in the morning that the government is going in the wrong direction and in the afternoon say that they will vote for the JLP? Obviously, the data needs more interrogation, and I want to beg off and say that I would love to analyze the data, but I actually don't have it to analyze.
Okay. Thank you very much, Deacon Espute, Suella Anglin, Dr.